Most beginners pick the wrong one, and it doesn't just cost them money, but it can also cost them years because the real mistake isn't what you think. It's not about picking a bad stock, it's about starting with the wrong strategy when it comes to investing. Now, if you're new to investing, you're probably going to ask this question, and this is one that I get a lot. Should you buy individual stocks or should you just stick to buying ETFs? Well, that really depends on who you listen to. Depending where you're looking on YouTube, social media, you will get completely different answers. But when it comes to investing, the strategy is going to be yours and yours alone. So in this video, I want to break down what the stocks are, what the ETFs are, and what are some of the biggest mistakes that really people make when choosing between these two investment vehicles. And by the end, you're going to know exactly where to start. So let's start it simple. What is a stock? It is an ownership in a single company. When you buy a stock like Apple, you buy Microsoft, you buy Tesla, you buy Nvidia, you're betting that one single company is going to grow. Now, of course, if it does well, you're going to do incredibly well. If it struggles, you are going to feel the pain owning just one individual stock. Now, here's the appeal when it comes to it. You could have a much, much higher potential upside if you think 5 years ago, if you invested in a company like Meta, if you invested in a company like Nvidia, you have a lot more control and it's excitement if you are picking the winners. But of course, when it comes to investing, a lot of beginners, even veterans, do not fully understand that when you buy a single stock, you are taking a massive concentrated risk on just one single company. If there's a bad earnings report, it is going to affect the price. If there's negative publicity, one leadership issue, a shift in the market, it is going to affect one single stock in the entirety. Your investment can drop really fast. And for a majority of people, this is more than enough than they can actually stomach. Now, let's compare that to ETFs. Now, me personally, my view, I only invest in ETFs. I do not hold individual stocks. ETF or an exchange traded fund is a basket of investments. Instead of buying one company like we see again with in the case of Nvidia, you are buying dozens, hundreds, sometimes even thousands of companies all in one purchase. For example, when we start thinking of an ETF that tracks the S&P 500, I hold the VOO. This tracks the index of that S&P 500. Another one might focus on dividends like we have with the SEHD. Another one might target tech or might target AI like we see with the QQQM. So instead of really investing into one single company, you are investing in a much larger pool of companies in the entire system. And that is where it really does change everything. Because for a lot of beginners, this is where they get it wrong. They think and look at stocks for companies, very fast, easy money. ETFs, very slow, boring returns. That's the reason why a lot of people start with stocks. They try to pick the winners, they try to beat the market, they try to shortcut the investment process in its entirety. And then what actually happens is they end up chasing hype. They buy high, they sell low, and they're jumping from stock to stock to stock without getting any real momentum and without creating any compounding. Meanwhile, investors that start with a good portfolio of ETFs are trying to do something different. They are trying to build consistency in the portfolio without having to buy and sell out of different positions all of the time. Now, of course, ETFs were really invented to solve a very big problem that investors, veteran investors, even brand new investors, number one, diversification. You have this with a lot of times instantly because you are not reliant on one single company in the entirety. Like we said, you have an entire basket of companies that are in there. Then there is much lower risk. If you think you're buying the S&P 500 and you own 500 companies, if you have one, two, five, even 10 of those companies that really go down, they fail, they go bankrupt, it's not going to upset, it's not going to crush the entire portfolio because of the diversification that it offers in there. Then it comes to simplicity. For a lot of people, investing is meant to be super complicated and they really do overcomplicate it. I'm trying to make investing simplified, no constant research, no guessing, no stress, no looking at your portfolio every 15 minutes to see exactly where it is. And then, of course, the consistency over time. This is honestly the golden ticket. This is how actual wealth is built. Investing isn't about hitting a home run with one stock that you purchase. It's about stacking all of those hits over 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, just like we see with 401k plans. And that's what most people really underestimate is the time frame that they have in the runway for investing itself. Now, to be clear, stocks are not bad. They can come in later. And if you're looking for a very specific company that you want to own, you have to understand that once you understand the market itself, have a solid ETF foundation, know how to look at and evaluate companies, which again does come with time. A stock could enhance the portfolio overall, but starting with just stocks, and I see this a lot when people get into Robinhood, get into M1 Finance. I have a couple links down below, but they will start investing, and let's say they throw all their money into, a company like Alphabet. All of a sudden, Alphabet's down 5%. They cash out their money, not going to invest anymore. It's a scam. It's not, it's gambling. I hear so many different things on an investment channel. It's pretty interesting because that's where most people not only lose money, but they will also lose time. And a majority of people, and if you think about it in a bigger picture, this is what I found incredibly interesting. When you have the market going up, which we've seen for the last 3 years consistently, a lot of people will always go in there and invest. Markets up 20% a couple years ago, double digits the following year, double digits the following year, all in, everyone's investing. Then all of a sudden, the market pulls back 5 or 10%. It is code red, everything shuts down, they cash everything out, not getting back in the market again. Might have made a little bit of money. For some people, may have even lost money because they were buying it at the very top of the market instead of knowing when to buy it. When there's a market pullback, I always sit on sideline cash. I do dollar cost averaging every single week, but I sit on a little bit more cash where if there's a 5-10% correction in an ETF that I believe in, that I hold, that I have, something like the QQQ, I will put a little bit more money into it, knowing that it's already dipped at 5 or 10%. So pretty much you're buying it discounted. When you think of the store and you're going shopping at the store and you see something that is 50% off, I guarantee you, if you've seen a company or if you've seen an ETF that was 50% off, one, you're going to think exactly what is wrong with it. But two, that is a massive discount. And some of those can fall right into the buy category when it does dip that much. So if you're just starting, honestly, the simplest path to get started, start with ETFs, build consistency through your contributions, automate that investing. Then over time, if you want to explore certain companies, you can, but definitely make sure the foundation for investing is strong. And even looking at those ETFs or those specific stocks you're looking at, you also have to keep in mind that you could already own them and you could own them at a certain percent within some of those ETFs. For instance, if I own something like the QQQ and then I own the SMH, which is the Van Eck Semiconductor Fund, both of those own NVIDIA and own NVIDIA in a larger portion of the ETF. If I go out and then I buy NVIDIA or hold it itself, I'm just literally triple dipping across the portfolio, owning the individual stock, then owning it as two key components. So the overlap on the portfolio is going to be very huge. Now, of course, the goal when it comes to investing is not to get rich fast. It's about to build really things that work within there, because most beginners don't fail because they pick the wrong stock. They fail because they start the wrong way. They don't have a plan. If you got this part right, you'll be absolutely ahead of a majority of investors. Now, guys, if you found anything valuable in this video, definitely hit the like button, give it a thumbs up. It is going to get it out to more people. Drop a comment down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. We are trying to make investing simplified, trying to get to the point where people understand exactly what they're investing in, what it looks like, what it actually means to be invested, and of course, making the consistency, automating those contributions, and really building wealth itself. So guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.